Hello guys, welcome to Sean's 5th math tutorial today. And today I'll start from 2.17 where I left off from previous video. So let's go to 2.17. So here 2.17, Ben is making a wooden toys for an art and craft sale. Each toy cost Ben $1.80 to make one. If he sells the toy for $3 each, how many will he make to sell to, how many does he have to sell to make a profit of $36? Okay, so 2.17. So Ben is making a toy, and whenever he makes one toy, it cost him $1.80, right? So it cost him this much to make one. But how much is he selling one for? He's selling one for $3, right? $3, which means, so he sells his toy for $3. So how much profit is he making? Profit means how much he's actually making, right? So out of $3, so he sells for $3, but it cost him $1.80. So which means leftover will be his profit, and which is $1.20. That's his profit. So we have to find how many toys that he has to sell, and which we don't know, so I'll put it as a x to make. And then the question gave us one more example or information, and they said he has to make how much? $36, right? Okay, so first we have to come up with an equation. So we know that the total profit has to equal $36 in the end, and whenever he sells one, he's making $1.20 profit. And if he sells X amount, so I'm gonna multiply this X to this. So if he's making X amount of toys and he's making $1.20 per every toy, he will get $36, right? So this is our equation. So what do I do next? Just divide both sides by $1.20. If I do that, these two cancels, so X becomes 30, right? 30. So that means that he has to sell 30 toys to make $36 profit. So let's see if we have answer. And yep, we do. Submit, and we got the correct answer too. Okay, so 2.18. What is the meaning of 5 to the third power? 2.18. Okay, so 5 to the third power. Okay, so what does this mean? So when there's a number or variable on the top of the right corner here, this is called exponent. And like I went over in the first video, I believe this is same thing as what? There are three fives multiplied together. That's what it means. And if we solve this, what do we get? We get 125. So this 5 to the third power is same as 5 times 5 times 5, or 125. And let's see if we have that on our answer. And we do. Perfect. Submit. We got the right answer. Okay, so next question. 2.19. It says multiply 1.8 and 8.5. 2.19. Okay, so it says multiply these two numbers, 1.8 and 8.5. So here, you could have used calculator, but I don't think they want you to use calculator on this problem. So let's actually solve this one. So 1.8 times 8.5, that's what we're doing, right? Okay, so people get scared when they see these decimal points. So how about we change this to normal multiplication? So instead of putting 1.8, we can just say 18. And instead of 8.5, we can just say 85 and multiply. So now it's just simple multiplication, right? So 8 times 5 is what? 8 times 5 is 40. So 4 goes on top, right? So 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 is 9. And 8 times 8 is what? 64, right? So 4 goes on the bottom, 6 goes on top. 8 times 1 is what? 8. And 8 plus 6 equals 14. So we just add these two. If we add those two, what do we get? We get 1, 5, 3, 0. Okay, so here. And earlier we took this decimal points away, didn't we? Okay, so because we took those two away, this time we have to put those back in to our answer. So in order to find how many decimal points we have to move, we have to add all the decimal points that we moved in the first place. So here we moved this one by 1, didn't we? Perfect. How about this one? We moved this one by 1 also, didn't we? So we moved 2 spaces total, which means in our answer we have to go back by 2 spaces this time. So 1, 2. So instead of 1530, it will be 15.3, right? 15.3 or 15.30 or whatever. So yeah, this should be our answer. Let's see if we have that. And 15.3, perfect. We got the correct answer too. So 2.20, what is 40% of 90? Okay, so let's see. 2.20. So it says 40, what is 40% of 90? So here, this is same thing as 40% times 90. But we can't multiply this percent with number, which means we have to change this percentage into either decimal or a fraction. So when you're changing this into decimal, you would just move this decimal points to left by 2, right? So 1, 2, and put a dot there, and 40% actually becomes 0.4. Or we can just change this into fraction, which is 40 over 100. Okay, so since we found that, now we have to calculate it, right? I like to use fractions because I can cancel things out, but if you're using calculator, multiplying 0.4 will be better. So 40 over 100 times 90. So 90 is the same thing as what? 90 over 1, right? And as you can see, these 40 and 100 are divisible by 10, right? So 10 goes into 40 how many times? 4 times. How about 10 goes into 100 how many times? 10 times, right? So we can just rewrite that as 4 over 10 times 90 over 1. Okay, now 10 and 90 can be divided, right? Because they're on because 90 is on the top and 10 is on the bottom. So 10 goes into 10 once, 10 goes into 9 how many times? 9 times. Perfect. So we're left over with 1 on the bottom, and on top is 9 times 4, which is 36. So our answer becomes 36. So, yep, we have 36 here, and that's the correct answer. Okay, so 2.21. It says 5 pieces of wire are cut from the length of the wire that is 50 feet long. One of the piece is 12 and 2/3 feet long, and 2 of the pieces are 5 and 1/4 feet long each, and 2 of the left pieces are 6.5 feet long each. So how many feet of wires are left from the original length? 2.21. So they have this wire here, right? And how long is that? That's 50 feet long, right? 50 feet long wire. And they cut 5 pieces from this. They cut 5 pieces. So one piece was how long? 12 and 2/3 feet. And this is just a chunk from this little area right here. I just draw that down there. And 2 of the pieces were how long? 5 and 1/4 feet each. Okay, and the last 2 pieces were 6.5 feet long each. Okay, so how do we come up with equation in this one? We would use the original, right? Original length minus the cutoff length, which is just those 5 pieces, should give us what? The x, which is the leftovers, right? And that's what we're finding, so that's good. So the original was 50 feet, and cutoff length we don't know yet, so we have to calculate that. So in order to find the cutoff length, we would add all these, right? We would add all those. So first piece was 12 and 2/3 feet. And what about the next one? Next one was 5 and 1/4 feet. But there are 2 of those, so we have to multiply by 2. And plus 2 of the 6.5 feet, right? And that should give us what? The cutoff length. So let's solve that. And when I usually solve these kind of questions, I like to change these proper fractions into improper fractions. So instead of 12 and 2/3, I would write it as 12 times 3, which is 36. 36 plus 2 is 38. So 38 over 3, right? Plus 2 times 5 times 4 is 20. 21 over 4. Plus 2 times 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 2. Nice. So 38 over 3 plus, as you can see, 2 is same thing as what? 2 over 1, and they're multiplied, right? So which means we can divide these two because they're divisible. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice. So we can write this one as 21 over 2 plus, and this one's same too. It's over 1, so we can divide these two. 2 goes into 2 ones, 2 goes into 2 ones. So this is the same thing as 13 over 1, right? Okay, so can we add these three now? No, right? Because we have to have LCD, least common denominator, to add the fractions. So you remember this way before that we went over? So we take the denominators and write it down like this and draw a L bar here and pick a number that can be divided with these numbers. So for example, and it has to have at least 2 of them. So in this case 1 would work, right? 1 goes into 3 times, and 2 divided by 1 is just 2, and 1 divided by 1 is just 1. So as you can see, I didn't change anything, but this is what I have. So we have to use that to find LCD. So in order to find the LCD, we just multiply all these numbers. So what's 1 times 3 times 2 times 1? That's just 6. So our LCD is 6. So in order to make this bottom into LCD, we have to multiply by some number. So 3 will be 2, right? 2 times 3 will be 6. So we do that on top here too. How about this one? We multiply by 3 to make 6. This one would multiply by 6 to make 6, right? And if we do that, we get what? 76 over 6 plus 63 over 6 plus 78 over 6. Okay, so now I can add all those. What's 76 plus 63 first? Just 9 and 13, right? So 139 over 6 plus 78 over 6, and if we do that, we get 217 over 6. So now we have to so what is this? This is the cutoff length, right? Cutoff length. And back to our equation here, what did we come up with? Original minus the cutoff length should give us the leftover, which is what we're looking for. So the original length was 50. So 50 feet minus cutoff length, which is 217 over 6, should give us x. So let's do that. Here's, so this one is same thing as over 1, isn't it? And they have different denominator. What do we use? Yes, LCD. So LCD 1 and 6, 1 goes into at least 2 of them, so 1 divided by 1 is 1, 6 divided by 1 is 6. So we just multiply all these and we get 6. So our LCD is 6, which means we have to multiply this by 6 because 6 times 1 is 6, and top by 6 too. So if we do that, we get 300 on top and 6 on the bottom, minus 217 over 6 equals x. 300 minus 217 is equal to 83 over 6. So x is equal to 83 over 6. But of course we have to change this to proper fraction by using that old division thing. So 6 goes into 83, 1, 2, 3, 6, 3, 18, and 5. So 6 goes into 83 13 times and 5 left over. So this should be our answer. So let's see if this is our answer. And yep, they have that, and we got the right answer. Perfect. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this tutorial today. I'll be posting more videos, so please subscribe for more videos and leave questions on the comment below. And see you guys on the next tutorial. Thanks.